Welcome back to the closing bell. We've got about 5 minutes left of trade. Just going to start with a little glimpse at the international picture today. We haven't had much time to talk about that. Starting with the Italian 10-year yield. Hopefully we've got a sort of month-long chart. You'll see it's up pretty significantly, up to 3.55%. Another issue in Italy. It looks like the European Commission will reject the Italian budget. So yields rising. The important thing that we're not seeing there is contagion across other southern European nations. But we did see some safe haven movement in the likes of the German and the French yields, some buying there, some yields falling. So it's something to keep an eye on. It's not been contagious across Europe yet, but something to keep an eye on. Another thing to keep an eye on is Brexit negotiations overnight. Theresa May's at the EU summit. Doesn't look like any real positive headlines have come out of that yet, but they are still at dinner, so we'll see what happens. There is a pound chart over the last week, 131.20 or so we're at the moment, down about 0.5% today, albeit the US dollar has been strong more broadly. But you'll see we're kind of near the 1 week moves, and we'll have to see what happens on that front as Theresa May winds up that summit over the next 24 hours. Back to the US, S&P 500 intraday chart for you. Been a bit of a yo-yo session, particularly the last couple of hours, you'll see. But we haven't got the intraday chart coming for you. There is the four indices down for the Dow, 0.4%. A little bit of positivity we saw for the early part of the afternoon, but the fact that we're sort of flat as we approach the close is better than where we were mid-morning, and that's a sort of positive tilt we can take from it. All four of the indices for you, the Dow and the Russell, are the laggards. They're down just shy of about 0.5%, and we've got the Nasdaq down about 0.1%. Let's dive into the sectors today as well. Seema Modi joining me in terms of the intraday performance. Banks doing well, energy not doing so well.
And technology also a big loser. Traders fixated on the move in IBM. With today's losses, IBM is down more than 11% for the year. Wilfred, take a look at how that compares to the tech sector outperformance this year. It's up about 14%. So IBM, a key laggard. I also want to mention the housing stocks. We did see them sell off after the latest Fed meeting minutes. We did see Pulte Group, D.R. Horton, Lennar, among others, moving to the downside.
And Kenny Polcari has just joined us as well. Kenny,
hello.
What's your main takeaway today? I mean, nice intraday finish that we're not at the lows of the session.
No, it definitely was. It definitely was. I wasn't surprised by the action this morning at all after yesterday's explosive to the upside, right? The explosion to the upside, which honestly was much more of a bounce off what was an oversold position. But I fully expect that the market's going to continue to thrash around now in between the 200-day and the 100-day until it finds some stability. And you're going to see that as we get through earnings season. As long as the earnings continue to be what they are and they're good and they're strong and the guidance is strong, then I think you'll see the market, balance out. But until then, you're going to still have this volatility in prices.
Can the banks rally continue that we've seen today?
I think the banks rally can continue. I think the banks have done really their earnings and their stories are very good. And with rates going up, it's only going to benefit the banks.
So what commodity names Alcoa reporting after the bell? What are you expecting?
Alcoa is one of those names that you never really know. Sometimes they knock it out of the park, and other times they so disappoint that you're caught way off guard. I haven't paid too much attention to Alcoa, so I'd be lying if I told you what I'm expecting. It's just one of those names that you never really know how they're gonna come out.
Always used to kick-off earnings, now come in the second week. Kenny, we'll let you get back to your post. Thank you very much for coming over to join us. Just go back to the point of the sector performance today as well, because energy suffering towards the bottom, materials also suffering, and it's not been a very good beta day for that, and partly because, of course, oil prices slipping down around 2.3% as well.
And listen, there's been a lot of discussion here on the trading floor as to whether our margins have peaked. Not only do we have earnings from Alcoa tonight, but Las Vegas Sands, Travelers tomorrow. That'll be an important insurance player to keep an eye on, given the two hurricanes that we had, Florence in the Carolinas, Michael in Florida. So we'll have to see how the insurance sector is holding up with more of these weather occurrences.
Another point to make as well from today's trade, Dollar's been strong. The broader index up about 0.4, 0.5%. It got a little bit of an extra boost when we got the Fed minutes, which if you are really searching for something, had a slight hawkish undertone. Nothing too significant, but we did see the dollar pick up a little bit further, an extra sort of 10 basis points or so. You can see that towards the end of the chart, up 0.56%.
What do we get with a stronger dollar and a sell-off in emerging markets? The EEM down another 1% today, even though Citigroup came out with a very bullish note on emerging market stocks.
We will keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on other international markets as well, of course, tomorrow. But we are 20 seconds away from the close. Down 90 points on the Dow. The S&P essentially flat, so we're well off the lows of the session. The Dow low was 319 points. But we are closing down 82 points. Ringing the bell at the big board is Robo Global, Sarah's new one-handed robot friend. At the Nasdaq is Marker Therapeutics. That does it for the first hour of the closing bell.